What is going on, everyone? Round one of the NFL draft was last night, and we saw a lot of crazy things. I mean, some reaches, Michael Penix to the Falcons, Bo Nix to the Broncos. But now it's the Houston Texans' turn. And I think general manager Nick Caserio is going to make rounds 2 and 3 his. And everyone will be wondering what the Houston Texans are doing. You look at the assets that we have tonight. Number 42, number 59 in the second round, and number 86 in the third. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I am expecting a trade up according to Patrick Storm. The Houston Texans tried to trade up last night to get cornerback Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, but the Philadelphia Eagles, they wanted a lot. I'm not going to blame them. We're moving from the second and all the way up to the first, and he was selected, I believe, at 22. With that being said, Nick Caserio is hunting. And I think once again, he is going to show why he is the right general manager for this Houston Texans team, and I think he is in his element like he was in New England, just building around a franchise, a superstar quarterback. We are going to see who is available in the second round, and we are going to talk about which one of these guys or some of these guys would you trade up for if you were Nick Caserio and this Houston Texans team. If you are not in my Discord, what are you doing? Let me know if you want to be added. We had a fun draft night last night, and we're going to continue that and all the way up into this season. So if you want to be added, let me know in the comments down below, and I will personally shoot you the invite. And this episode was brought to you by my friends at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app, use my promo code 713HOU for a welcome on your first deposit up to $100. And thank you all so much for watching today's episode. Now, guys, there is a lot of talent left on the board. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you think Nick Caserio should trade up for when I look at the top available players. Number 1 is Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa. The Houston Texans, they need secondary help, and he can not only fight for the number 2 cornerback spot, but a lot of people think he could transition into safety, and that is also a need for the Houston Texans. So you're kind of putting Cooper DeJean wherever you need him to in the secondary if you do draft him, but I wouldn't mind that whatsoever. Would I trade up for him? I don't know, but I would not be mad if the Houston Texans did. If, from what we heard from Patrick Storm, if they wanted to trade up and get Quinyon Mitchell, why not trade up and go get Cooper DeJean? Number 2 on the list is Jon Johnny Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois. Now, the injury is scaring a lot of teams away. You heard my boy AD say it on the live stream. He got the same surgery that Yao Ming got to reconstruct his foot. So his foot is being held together by screws and metal plates, and he is falling down draft boards. Remember, he was supposed to go before Byron Murphy. Jon Newton is just the best pass rushing defensive tackle in this class. He has a high motor. He screams D'Amico Ryans. I will trade up for Jon Johnny Newton. I would love that, and the front four for the Houston Texans would be absolutely deadly. Will Anderson Jr., Johnny Newton, Danico Autry, Danielle Hunter. Let's go hunt some quarterbacks, man, and let's go to the Super Bowl. Continuing the list, wide receiver from Texas, Donnie Mitchell, who ran the fastest 40 time amongst wide receivers. He is 6'4", and we saw C.J. Stroud get upset when Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver from Florida, was taken in the draft. It sounds like he wants another weapon. Why not add the fastest wide receiver to this Houston Texan offense? And gosh damn, who is going to stop you? Think of a wide receiver core. Stefan Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and AD Mitchell as your number 4. Then you also have John Mechie, Xavier Hutchinson, Noah Brown. This might be the one of the most stacked wide receiving cores. They're not the most stacked wide receiving core in the NFL. If you do add someone like an A.D. Mitchell going forward, they have KoolAid McKinney, cornerback from Alabama, in the top 5. And we talked about him when we had a first-round pick at 23. KoolAid McKinney is just locked down, and he is a reliable corner in the run game. He gets involved. He is not afraid to take on running backs. He plays with a swagger that I think this Houston Texans secondary needs alongside of Derek Stingley, right? And I think this tandem of KoolAid McKinney and Derek Stingley could be nasty for years to come. There's also the aspect of Derek Stingley, C.J. Henderson, Jeff Okudah have never played a full season. So you are kind of bringing in KoolAid McKinney to not only be number 2, but hey, if he has to step up because of injuries, he can do that. We know cornerbacks from Alabama, they translate well into the NFL. Continuing on, Edgerrin Cooper, linebacker from A&M. Now, are you going to trade up for him? I would absolutely love that. We talked about him being the best LB in this class, but this is the D'Amico Ryans pick. This is the linebacker that he gets and molds into one of the best in the NFL. Like what Fred Warner said during the Super Bowl media day, there is no Fred Warner without D'Amico Ryans, and I cannot wait till we hear there was no Edgerrin Cooper without D'Amico Ryans. With that being said, you are not only investing into the future, but Edgerrin Cooper had 10 sacks this season. I could see him being used as the early blitzing linebacker. He's just an athletic freak, man. Just a game changer on the defensive side of the ball. So that was the top 5. Cooper DeJean, Johnny Newton, A.D. Mitchell, KoolAid McKinney, Edgerrin Cooper. Continuing on with the list, Ladd McConkey, wide receiver from Georgia. Could he just fall to the Houston Texans at 42, at 59? I don't know. However, adding this type of route runner to the Houston Texans team, it's absolutely deadly. And you are adding one of the best route runners, in this class, and you are giving them one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL in C.J. Stroud, and you are just going to see great things happen. Ladd McConkey is also a willing blocker, and he's a very good blocker. This is someone who just knows how to run beautiful routes, and him and Stefan Diggs are going to get together and just get in the lab and make each other better. Iron sharpens iron. I think Ladd McConkey as your wide receiver 4, I think it is absolutely filthy. If you add one of these wide receivers, right? So if it's A.D. Mitchell, if it's Ladd McConkey, if it's where's my boy? Where Keon Coleman, imagine him on the Houston Texans, Malachi Corley. Any of these wide receivers added in the second round will automatically make this Houston Texans wide receiver group one of the best units in the NFL. So more people on the list, names that stick out: Braden Fisk, defensive tackle from Florida State. And it's Rakestraw Jr., cornerback from Missouri, who had a meeting with the Houston Texans. Peyton Wilson, linebacker from NC State, who the Houston Texans met at the Senior Bowl. Chris Jenkins, Michigan defensive tackle. Mike Sainristil, Michigan cornerback, senior. I would love him there at pick 59. And then just to finish off the list here for the most, not the most, but the best available, Andrew Phillips, cornerback from Kentucky, Tyler Nubin, safety from Minnesota, and Chris Baswell, edge from Alabama. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Texans are going to make some moves. Let me know your thoughts on the people available and what should we do. For more Houston Texans content, y'all feel free to follow me. For more, go Houston. Have a very blessed day.